Well, greetings. I had to replace the fuel pump on my Yukon, my 2001 GMC Yukon XL 2500. Here's the old fuel pump. Getting the fuel lines off, the quick disconnect things, they just snapped. I couldn't get the disconnect tool in there. And when I dropped the tank, it had about 8 gallons of gas in it, so it added about another 60-70 pounds to it. And so it snapped off. This was the first Delphi fuel pump that I bought. Now, I had to repair the charcoal canister because it was getting an evap code, and I fixed that. Took me about three attempts to get a little nipple like this glued back onto the canister, but I got that taken care of, and I was all ready to put the tank back in, and then I couldn't get the fuel line. This one snapped on just fine. Now let's compare these two. Look at this right here. I'm out here in the dark under a sodium vapor light, so I hope the lighting's okay. But look at the dimensions here. Okay? You come over here, I got the first line on fine. It snapped on here. This right here, this extra piece of molded plastic, this gusset, it comes out too far. And you can't get the fuel line on because it just bumps up against that and you can't get it on. This one will go on fine, I'm hoping. But so what I had to do, I had to buy another fuel pump. And by the way, I drained, I'm working under here and there's the tank. It's empty, so it's nice and light. But I bought a couple of 5-gallon cans at Harbor Freight, and this really cool battery operated pump only took me about 10 minutes to pump all the fuel out. There's about 8 gallons. Those are two 5-gallon cans. This one is about 50-60% full. This one is full all the way to the brim. But I've been trying to figure out why the fuel line wouldn't go on. So I've been filing away at this right here, because you can see this fuel line went on fine, but you can see this plastic right here. This is a little file as a pointer. It should fit now because now there's space. On the other one, it comes out to about here, and it just would not go any further, and I couldn't figure out why. And I kept looking at it. And I finally turned the tank this way and I went, oh my God. I've had to file all this down so there's clearance enough for the fuel line to fit. So I'm going to put the camera on hold and maybe I can finish the operation here. If I can figure out how to do this, put it on deposit. Here we go. Nope. It's not doing it. Probably because I have my gloves on. Or this camera doesn't do it. Well, maybe I'll have to do this in 2 videos. Okay. All right, so success. There it is. That is a really bad error on Delphi's part, because I don't know, I can't be the only one that's been struggling with this, but I just did that. I filed it down. There was enough clearance for and you can see that space in there. How do I get a file to point it out? Now there's enough space in there for the fitting to actually press on. Oh my God, what a nightmare. So I hope this is helpful, and I'm gonna show this to Rock Auto and hopefully they'll give me a refund. They didn't have another one in stock. I would have had to wait another week to get it. So, but what a nightmare. Bad enough that you have to splice on a new connector, but when you can't get your fuel line on and then you end up snapping it off, snapping the fitting there off because you're trying to force it on and then it just breaks. That's a problem. All right, well, I hope this is helpful for anybody. 2001 GMC Yukon XL 2500 with 2 tanks. So I'll see if it fires up. That might be another video, because well, maybe I can pause it again. We'll see. It's going to take me a bit of time to get the tank back up. All right, I got the tank back in. Put the battery back in. Fuel. Wow. Let's see. Yeah, baby. Yep, got to change the oil. Right on. So my fix worked. Make sure it's not leaking down here. Not leaking. It's running. I'm going to put the shields back on. I got to drive it a little bit before I can get it smogged to make sure that there's no trouble codes. Alright, boy, that fired right up. Nice, 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 nice. Well, it was certainly a pain because of that part. It's supposed to be the right part for this vehicle, but it's got a problem in its design. All right, I'm going to call this a success. I'm so tired. All right, bye-bye.